There are no miracles, only higher levels of understanding. A man must know two things. He must know who he is, and he must know where he's going. At ease! At ease, brothers. Today, brothers, I want to talk about something that is going to change your life as soon as you understand this, man. This is going to be the thing that brings you peace. This is going to be the thing that brings you mental, spiritual stability. This is going to be the thing that assists you in knocking down the walls of creation, brother. And we have to understand, man, that we must become timeless beings. I'm gonna say it again for the people in the back. We must become timeless beings. What do you mean, soul? Well, we all understand in this third dimensional plane, and when I say this third dimensional plane, I'm talking about the land of height, width, and length. We all understand that time is the most critical asset. We all understand that this world couldn't even exist without time. We all understand that spending our final moments with our families, watching our kids grow up. We understand that time is a valuable thing, man, and we can all appreciate time. But man, once you have a certain level of understanding, brothers, you understand that on the other side of the spectrum, on the other side of our beings, which is our spiritual side, you understand that time can be your enemy. If you don't understand it, time can be your enemy. What do you mean, soul? Well, you always hear me talk about zero frequency, brothers. And I never really go in, this type of conversation, it is normally had during power circle meetings. It's normally had during one-on-one consultations, right? But today, man, I want to share this with you, man, because I think it's imperative. Like I understand that once a person understands this, man, his life will never be the same. You won't even see our existence as the same, man. When I'm talking about zero frequency, brothers, I'm talking about where God lives. I'm talking about the thing that every man and woman, whether it's on a conscious or subconscious level, is seeking. Everybody is seeking zero frequency. And when I say zero frequency, I'm talking about a state of where nothing moves. I'm talking about stillness. I'm talking about zero vibration. And if you understand, when I say that, you understand that's the complete opposite of what this world is made of. And I said it a million times, but I'll say it again just for clarification, brothers. You understand that nothing in this world can exist. In this third dimensional plane, nothing can exist without a polar opposite. In other words, if there's a left, there has to be a right. If there's a north, there has to be a south. And the reason because of that is because the pendulum is always swinging. Like that's how creation is made, by the swinging of the pendulum. It goes back to the Bible, man. When the Bible says where there are two, I am there also. That's referring to all polar opposites on the planet. So that lets you know what zero frequency is, man. In the recipe, if y'all haven't seen the recipe, shameless plug. In the recipe, I said that meditation is the cousin of sleep. Sleep is the sister of death, and death is the highest level of understanding, right? You have to understand that all three of those realms we tap into, man, whether it's sleep, whether it's meditation, and ultimately when we die, we're going to the same place. We're going to the same place. We're just submerging ourselves deeper into that place. But that place is zero frequency. That place is where the pendulum no longer swings, man. It's constant energy. When Wallace Wattles in his book, The Science of Getting Rich, he talked about this thinking stuff. And he said, brothers, I don't know what to call this stuff, man. He said, but he said, anytime you have something, he said, anytime you have matter, he said, anything outside of matter, there's this stuff, man. There's this power. He said, I don't know what to call it. He said, it's this thinking stuff. He said, anytime you put a thought into that stuff, he said, things manifest. Like if I put thought into the ether, man, about this cell phone would manifest. He called it that thinking stuff. It's zero frequency, brothers. It's the same place where the pendulum no longer swings. It's constant energy. It's where God lives. Nikola Tesla talked about the same stuff. I'm not sure what he called it, but he said, brothers, there's this stuff around us. You can't see it, but we can actually ride this wave of energy, man. That's how Wi-Fi is created and other, remote type things, brothers. So you have to understand, man, that zero frequency is stillness. And that's really what every man is searching for, man. So when it comes to creation, that's why I say, brother, you have to become timeless beings. We have to remain timeless beings. What do you mean, soul? What I mean is, brothers, if God energy is timelessness, then there's no such thing as evolution in this energy. I'm gonna say it a different way. If you're going into your meditation, if you're sitting in your chair 5-10 minutes and you're talking about you going through stages of progression, that's not even a real thing. You can't put evolution in constant energy. But when you think about it, that's the beauty of it. Like that's the power of it, man. Us being able to put any energy in constant flow, in stillness. Because whatever you put in that energy, it is. You understand what I'm saying? Let me break it down a different way. If you go throughout your day and you're encountering all these low vibrational things, brothers, you have to understand that when you go to bed at night, you're taking a certain vibration to constant energy. Again, sleep, meditation, death, it's the same place. When you're cutting on Saturday Night Live and when you're watching, Real Housewives of whatever city, sisters, and you're watching all this drama and you sit there and go to sleep, you're taking this same low vibration to the other realm. So when you getting out and you're making your vision boards and you're talking about having all these nice things, I'm gonna say this, brothers. You have to understand, man. You have to understand. You have to be aware, rather, of what we're taking to this side, and you have to be aware that whatever you're taking to that side is what it is. That's why it's so important, man. That you remain in a high vibrational state. Even when you're sitting there, riding in the Uber, man, and you just get lost and you're daydreaming, you're in that state, brother. And whatever energy you're taking over there with you is what you're creating. So when your life is on a Ferris wheel, you're seeing the same things over and over. It's because you're. I think what a lot of people are doing is they're trying to evolve. In other words, they're trying to use a third world principle, time, in the fifth dimension or in the spiritual world, man. So it's all about becoming timeless. And what I mean by that is, let's say, for example, you see someone, you've been in the gym, for 6 months and you've seen someone evolve and they went from being a skinny person or a real overweight person to being a fit person. You have to understand that evolution is only for the observer. Evolution is only for the person outside of self. If a man or a woman is in the gym, you see them over the course of 6 months, evolve into a fit being. You have to understand that they were that fit being that you were seeing day one. They had to be, or it couldn't come to be. In other words, let me say it a different way. If you can't flip the switch in your mind and become a thing, I'm always talking about walking in your I am. I'm always talking about praying. That's what praying is. Praying is living in that constant energy. Living in zero frequency, living in a state where evolution isn't a thing, where you hit a switch. Going back to the gym scenario, a man or a woman that you see fit, they were fit day one. That person that you see in 6 months, they were that person day one. That's what I'm saying. There is no, we have to become timeless beings. That's the only way that you can create the life you're trying to create. Like there is no other way. You have to understand that freezing time is the hack. Like that's the hack of all hacks, freezing time, merging polar opposites. And that's what makes us as human beings so special. That's what separates us. You know what I'm saying? North Pole and South Pole can never become one. North Pole doesn't have the ability to have the same thoughts as South Pole. East and West can never become one. But man and woman can become one. Man and woman can become the same thought. Think about this, bro. Think about this. And it's on several levels. It's on several. I always say that the first marriage is within self. The first marriage is within self. When the higher mind, when the ego mind and the spiritual mind merge, that's a marriage. In other words, when the ego mind has a thought, the spiritual mind has a thought, and they become one thought, one energy. Like the Bible says, where two come together, that's where God is. Where two come together, that's where zero frequency is. When two come together, when two or more come together, that's where time stops. So whatever you put in that energy, that's what it is. That's the hack, bro. That's the hack. So it goes from personal level to the next level. When man and woman come together, brother, if a man and a woman have the exact same thought, they have the ability to see God, to be in zero frequency, to create whatever they want to create. Think about how powerful that is, brother. Think about that. The other night in the power circle, man, we were talking about this. And I was saying, man, y'all brothers that have wives or long-term girlfriends or a woman that's in your life the long way. I said, man, if you aren't meditating with her, if y'all aren't putting one vision down and having one, like you're missing the whole bus. You understand? Even going to the power circle, man. Think about it. You know, we were talking about this again the other day. When a multitude of high vibrational brothers come together. And even though we have our own individual stories, we have our own individual lanes, if we can all come together and become one mind, that's what a mastermind is. To say, you know what, we are a group of men that are moving in a certain direction to achieve a common goal in XYZ. Brother, that's where God lives. I'm telling you, brothers, you have to become timeless. If you hear nothing else I say, man, you have to become timeless. Like I always say, man, that's the only thing that separated the messenger from the common man. To have the ability to roam this third dimensional plane, but think with his God mind. To think with timelessness. In other words, relating that to us, man, these goals that you're setting, bro, if you don't have the ability to look around your surroundings and see these late bills coming in, to see the repo man driving by your house and still think abundance, to think timelessness, to see that, I use the word future loosely, to see that future version of yourself in constant energy, walking in your I am, brothers. I'm telling you, man, that's going to change everything for you, brothers. So I say again, brothers. I say again, sisters. We must become timeless beings.